Holly Bellebuono here, talking about corporate social responsibility leads us to think about the circular economy and the different methods that are now being proposed to handle the way we do commercialism differently. So we're going to talk about the circular economy and cradle to cradle. So in the past few decades, we have experienced, all of us, a very linear model of consumption and consumerism. Namely, it's a take, make, throw away economy, and it focuses on the idea of disposal. Personally, I hate the term disposable. I think it's incredibly misleading. I remember being a kid and my mom throwing away newspapers and me thinking, the term throw away, there is no away. It's going somewhere. You can't just put it in a bin and think that it's taken care of and it's not going to be a problem anymore. In this linear model, trash is simply placed somewhere where it can't be seen. It's still there, leaching toxic chemicals, destroying habitats, and waiting to prey on future generations who are going to have to seek a real solution. There is an alternative, thankfully, and it's growing in strength these days, moving away from a linear, so-called disposable method. It focuses on reuse. It's called the circular economy. Its premise is that products should not only be recycled, but they should be designed and manufactured in the first place planning for it to be disassembled for reuse, and that companies who produce products should be active in reclaiming those products to disassemble and repurpose the ingredients at the end of that product's so-called shelf life. This removes more trash from the cycle and instead perceives an ingredient as a long-term resource rather than a one-time use for something that is going to be thrown away, so-called. According to the European Parliament, the circular economy is, quote, a model of production and consumption which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. In this way, the life cycle of products is extended. In practice, it implies reducing waste to a minimum, unquote. This is a great start. It does not address the wasteful crap that is manufactured every day as tchotchkes and souvenirs, trinkets, and plastic waste that never needed to be made in the first place. But it is a start, and it's a good foundation for new companies who wish to produce a new product because it gives them a benchmark for design and manufacture. Prepare for the end right at the beginning, this method tells them. Integrate the death of your product into its creation and be prepared as a company to take it back and put it to new use. In other words, we don't want any more landfills. And the circular economy is one strategy available to companies to help them achieve this goal. There is another method called the cradle to cradle approach. So we've all grown up with the cradle to grave approach, which means something is born, either a person or a product, and it lives and then it dies. It's a one-way street, a very linear process. In the commercial landscape, this is increasingly seen to be wasteful and a foolish use of limited resources. Instead, the term cradle to cradle can signify a more nature-aligned method that recycles materials through industry the way nature recycles from life to death. Originally coined by Swiss architect Walter Stahel in the 1970s as cradle to cradle, the phrase was copyrighted by McDonough Brongart Design Chemistry Consultants, and later it became a proprietary asset of the Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute. Essentially, the term helps industries determine the impact of a product idea, conceptualize the most environmentally friendly way to craft the product so that it will be later reclaimable, and develop systems and processes to reclaim spent products to be reused in a loop. What did Stahel see that no other corporate leader was willing to? I believe he was willing to tell corporations that they must take responsibility for their products, pushing aside the notion of disposable and viewing Mother Nature as the ultimate instructor for whom there is no waste. These principles can be beacons for manufacturers in all markets, even those currently using toxic chemical ingredients, because companies can make decisions to change. They can decide that toxic chemicals have no place in a healthy ecosystem, in a healthy economy, and they can review their vendors, they can change vendors, and even, as Richard Branson has proven, develop their needed components in-house to better oversee the production process and maintain their strong values and ethics. As a natural and organic business consultant, I specialize in leading in-person retreats, workshops, and trainings and facilitations where executives and team members come together to identify and expand their core values and their purpose. To keep teams healthy and engaged, your company really has to invest in the ongoing process of exploring and identifying core values. And then to propel your company forward with both employee retention and customer love, you should consider implementing a meaningful purpose throughout. What does this look like? I can help you with assessments, trainings, and facilitation, online curriculum for ongoing support, human resources, and implementation that strengthen your team's unity. Give me a call to find out more.